So how are you living, Loopy?
In late capitalism. So it's awful, but it's okay. I'll survive. How are you living, Bob?
Yeah, not too shabby. Been working on this little thing called Winston Fest lately. Been putting up posters this morning all over Glenwood. Went and put posters at Trademark yesterday. So been doing the whole
Posters,
street team thing. Yeah,
very vintage, very vintage.
exactly right.
It's like real life IRL TikToks, I guess. Or I need to get off the internet. Like actually, we all need to get off the internet.
Yeah, well, that's why we're doing a whole thing in person. But yeah, you're going to be DJing as DJ Blackout. And thank you for reaching
DJ.
out because like we were trying to figure out like who would be like the perfect person to get. And then when Matt said like you were like, yo, let me DJ, we're both just like fucking hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was when I saw it happening, I was like, it's time to apply my ability to press play. I guess sometimes I press rewind, fast forward, I do all the things. We pretty much all basically grew up at the Winston, so it's nice to have that like connection with the whole kind of that group of people.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. You are someone who like, when people think of the Winston, you're definitely one of the names that like comes up, you know?
That does not sound good. I feel
I
like who is it like?
mean,
It's like Ashton Kutcher being named at a Diddy party. Like every time I think of a white party, Loopy's name just comes up. It's like, nigga, what? What are you talking about?
you know what I'm talking about. You've been pretty rambunctious at the pub, but it is the place where we all like, let loose for a while and let our personalities just take over for a bit.
Engaging in some wasted youth.
Exactly. But yeah, when did you first go to the Winston? Because that's when I first met you, but I didn't like you were. I don't know. I didn't know you for like the longest time. I just knew you as the person who would come and steal my drink.
Ah, yes. Collective care. I was just doing praxis, communism in action. I think it started off as Burn. I remember when I was like at DUT, because a lot of us went to DUT, the art campus there. And there was, I think, was it Wednesdays at Burn? I'm going to sound really
Yeah.
old because they had those
10
five
rand
rand.
student nights, 1 rand shooters, 2 rand
Yes.
whiskey, Red
Dude, we
Derek's
sound.
fucking yo, dude. I knew that bar well.
And 5 rand black label cans. So we used to go to that. And then I think the Winston was more like an older metal crowd. They didn't
Yeah,
really like us because we never really had money and we had lots of cuck to cause.
yeah. And we were all
Which is not a good.
underage and we were all like just sneaking in and yeah, causing fights and yeah.
And then we ended up just hanging out at the parking lot for a long time.
That was it. Hey, that was like a era, man, for like 2 years where just rocking the
Yeah.
lot was the vibe. Like, cause yeah, you
Yeah, you
either
wouldn't even
couldn't
go to
get
the
in.
Winston. Yeah.
Yeah, because you either couldn't get in because whoever was doing the door that night like remembered that you're not like overage yet, or like you're just like so fucking broke that everyone was just hustling courts in the parking lots, and you would just listen to the bands like through the walls.
Yeah, I did. uh, and also, you didn't have any cash, so you just like put money together and maybe buy a bottle of crackling or something. Um,
Literally, fucking mockador.
oh, Jesus, how are we alive?
I ask that question all the time, and not necessarily because of the booze, but yeah, that definitely started us on a path.
So a downward spiral. Now we're writers. Yay.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of a stereotype almost. You have that kind of childhood, then you'll end up like becoming a writer.
Yeah, I think it's like a pipeline, like ska bassist or hardcore bassist to content farm writer to memer to, to podcast. That's a new thing. Yeah,
Podcasts are old, but I feel you.
yeah, it's definitely a pipeline there. I think it's not talk to her, but
Yeah, we don't have a crypto scam just yet, you know.
I
Like we'll
mean,
get
that's the only reason I'm here, bro. What do you mean? I'm leaving.
there.
Get the perfect coin. Come on.
The almost perfect coin, yeah. Fuck. But yeah, so what attracted you to like Burn and the Winston and counterculture and alternative culture? Because I remember one day you telling me you come from like a family of doctors, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My dad and my sister are doctors. My mom was a librarian, so we always kind of read a lot. So I got into hip hop quite a bit before getting, just kind of like discovering the Doors and stuff. I really got into like reading, writing, and all of that. And then from the Doors, it just kind of led to discovering other bands and going to DUT City Campus. There was like a lot of like weird RT kids, and they all kind of hung out there. So that's like, oh, you want to go check out the band? I think Matt from Sibling. He was
Oh,
doing
cool. Back
journalism at
then.
the same campus. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was doing journalism at the same campus, and it was like, come watch our band. And it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, because there were a lot of bands back then. I think the fact we're probably the last generation who was like offline in a sense. Um,
Yeah, well,
you
it
know,
started like when, yeah, we were coming of age essentially. I know, like, I found a lot of stuff because of the internet, but like, it was very different to how it is now.
yeah. I mean, you just kind of used your phone to say someone to please call me so they can meet you at the pub. Please call pub. Yeah, yeah.
Literally.
So it was just nice, like seeing like I don't know, just kind of being always like. I mean, I'm always a people person, so I can't say I was like unpopular at school because I kind of got on with everyone. But it was nice seeing people who are into like art and poetry, and just acting like hobos as much as I do.
Yeah, and everyone making out with everyone all the time. That was also, seminal.
Yes, it was. It was. Yeah.
We're not going to use the
I'm gonna end the
terminology that used to get used, but
Yes,
yes.
that's what the silence was about. I was like, we need to scrape our Facebook page. Excuse me,
Oh,
I'm gonna go. I've got some things
yeah,
to
because I still
delete.
remember when someone in the scene's mom called you out for some certain terminology you used in a Facebook post.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. My wild youth.
Your wild youth.
Yeah, but I think it was cool because I always feel like with cities like Joburg or like Cape Town and stuff, they were like pretty much established scenes, so there's like lines drawn. So
Yep.
if you're into metal, you've got like you can go to Gandalf's where there's a bunch of metal heads. If punks have their own place, if you're into dubstep or whatever.
Yep.
But in Durban, it's just like the subcultures are so small that it ends up just being all the kind of alternative kids just joined together. So it'll be like a
Yep.
bunch of hippies hanging out with a bunch of goths and bunch of bikers, and then like skollie punks and like the hardcore kids. I feel that also had an effect on Durban's music because we had like a lot of like cross genre music coming out of Durban at that time because it was like I remember even the meditators were like these full on vegan like Rasta Ironmans. They'd also come play shows there because it was just like Durban. It's either like doof 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 jock vibes, or you're like into like house and I'm a piano, and then all the, like alt kids like hip hop, punk, goths, and so forth were at the Winston. So it was a good melting pot, or a bad one, depending.
It depends on, yeah, how you determine the choices you made because of going to that place.
It just starts crying. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But yeah, you were kind of mentioning that you were in a band that very much was the ethos. Fruits and Veggies was a legendary Durban band that has had a lot of like, interesting characters in it, including yourself. So how did you get involved with all of that?
It was actually weird. It started off as like four girls, like Purity, Apple, this girl Otterell.
Oh yes, I remember Arturel. She's a great rapper.
Yes, yes, yes. And this dude Gary, he was also a hip hop kid. And then if you remember Darren from the Trees,
I do.
Darren, yeah. And then we had Dane Fattar beatboxing for us.
Oh,
Um,
crazy.
yeah, so so it went from there to like through many evolutions or whatever you want to call it.
But when did you guys originally start?
Dude, no. I told you we drank crackling. I don't know.
Okay, I was just wondering because I also struggle with that, man. Like, the 2000s and 2010s, it's like, I can't tell you the year, bro. Like, come on.
It's like, dude, I was wearing skinny jeans. I didn't have good blood circulation. There was no oxygen in my brain. What are you talking about?
You've definitely gotten better at comedy than when you tried it, but we'll get into that just now.
Can't say the same about you, Bob.
Ta-dum.
Yeah. Yo.
Okay, so yeah, fruits and veggies. How did it keep evolving? And yeah, what was the catalyst? How did it all come? Actually, yeah, why'd you guys start the band?
Well, they just needed a bassist, so I just kind of joined them. But I think
Okay.
Smilo started it.
Smilo, crazy.
Yes. I think he probably was trying to hit on all the girls, but then eventually we kicked him out as a manager because I think we were booked to play somewhere, and he was just like, I don't know if I should tell the story. No.
Yeah,
but he
you
was
don't need to tell the whole story.
He was just like our manager, and he was just like in the driveway lying there, and he wouldn't let us go. He was like blackout drunk and wouldn't get in the car. So we were like, we need another manager. We used to call him the Damager. The band Damager, yeah.
Yo, hectic. But I mean, I think it's like Fruit and Veggies was always kind of a chaotic project.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, we were all kind of very, very young, and we were like just being like, we're punks. Very philosophical, yes.
I mean, there was a lot of philosophy behind it, but yes, I do get you that at the base level, it is just, I'm a punk and all that entails.
Yeah. I mean, also, we spent a lot of time on couches. I think I've walked to the whole of Durban with James Cross, like just carrying amps in the sun to like Justin's house or wherever. So yeah, yes, it had its moments of chaos, but I guess it was the Winston energy spilling into the band and like a self-feeding loop, like how AI is feeding each other AI, like that, but with chaos.
But you guys managed to do like fairly well. You got on like festival stages, traveled the country. What was that life like? Like, obviously, like you say, you guys were on a lot of couches and that.
Yeah, no, it was very fun, because like it's something I wanted to do ever since I was a kid. Like I said, I actually got the name Loopy because I started rapping when I was like 9. I know, right?
Dope.
So Loopy, my name's Lucia, so Loopy Loosh. Alliteration.
Nice, okay.
Huge.
I figured like it was something along those lines, to be honest.
Yeah. So I think we were the Crazy Cool Kids or something. I mean, that was 9. It was 1996. And so then I just kind of used the name Loopy as an MC name, and then it just kind of stuck because I actually turned out being high-key crazy.
I will say, I think that's why everyone at the Winston thought you were called Loopy. Was just because, it kind of fit.
Yeah, no, but it was I was rapping before it was uncool.
Always ahead of your time, man.
Yeah, I guess no, I'm not actually. I'm not on time for anything. But yeah, so we did play quite a lot of stages and stuff because, I mean, despite all the chaos, we really did love music, and we really kind of put a lot of work into writing good songs. And yeah, like I feel like Pure's one of the best vocalists, I've heard in a while still. But we're still very close friends, especially me, James, and Pure. And then Cam joined us, poor boy.
Yeah, I can imagine, like, I know the vibe, like, with a lot of bands and stuff, like, the bonds you form, either, like, you grow to really fucking hate the people, or you're best friends for life, and sometimes it's a bit of both.
Oh, yeah, especially me and James have our John and Paul moments where then it's like, sorry, I'm an asshole, then everything's good again.
Yeah, I'm not going to say much there.
You also played in the band.
Not quite, but Durban has a long, weird history. So, anyway.
It got something to do with all that making out you're talking about.
something to do with all
You
of
guys
that.
make out?
We definitely didn't. But anyway, let's get back on
Not
track.
yet.
So, what other music projects have you been a part of, or is that just it? Was it just Fruit and Veggies?
I played in Existing Consciousness,
Oh, okay.
which was like a hip. Remember that XCon?
Yeah,
But it was like a hip hop soul kind of rock band. So I played bass for them, which was pretty fun because it was like a very different speed to Fruits and Veggies, you know, because with Fruits and Veggies, things were getting a bit more professional. Like you had to be at practice 2 times a week, and we had a manager and a booking agent, you know, which was very different to XCon, which was like just at the start. So that was really fun for me as a musician to just have that. You know, you love the music, but you also, it's not that high pressure that I think Fruits and Veggies kind of ended up being in a bit.
yeah, I get that. And then you guys all moved to Cape Town, right? Together as a band, or what was the situation?
Yeah,
Were you like, we're gonna go, band's gonna make it?
pretty much. Or we were just like, people in Cape Town are hot. We've made out with everyone in Durban. It's time to move on. Take these lips on, take these lips on the road. No, yeah, I think it was just. We also just saw every time we went to Cape Town that like there was just like more support. You know, every time we toured there, even like till this day, like you could. An unknown artist will have like at least like 20 people in the crowd. If there's a DJ thing happening, there'll be like 50 people. So there's like people really come out to support just music and art and everything in general. That side, you know. So we thought that would be a good place to be, and I think Assembly was also around, so we were doing a lot of shows there, like Desmond and the Tutus, the Dolphins. But all of us moved to our friend Young Dave's house, and we were like 11 of us in a one-bedroom flat. So.
Punk life, baby, punk life.
Yeah, and we just everyone's clothes was just on the floor, so we just kind of almost shared clothes. We call it the walk-on cupboard.
Hey, and then at least you also have somewhere to like for other people to sleep when they come over.
Yes, yes, things I've seen. Like
Things you've done,
triggered.
things you've made
And
other
then she's
people see.
Okay, fair enough. We're not talking about that now, okay?
I've got some incriminating photos of you, but don't worry, I'll never share them.
No, the dark market, part of the crypto thing. You can make them into NFTs or something.
Oh fuck. So then, yeah, what happened in Cape Town? Why'd the band not work out, and how'd you guys like survive? Because it's not easy.
So I think that was part of the big problem because after like kind of like staying on Dave's floor and couch for like a couple of months, it's like okay, everyone has to get jobs, you know. So I think James went more into the film industry, which is where he works still, and I think Pierre also got a job. So we all became employed, which was really not good for the band.
Weren't you at Lefty's for a while, if I remember correctly?
Oh yes, with Lefty's, like the owner was like, he'll never hire me. So I was like pretty much fired before I was hired at Lefty's, and then he hired me. I don't know, talked him into hiring me, and then he made me manager. And then things got a bit wild when I was manager, and then I got demoted again, and then I got fired, and then they said they'd never hire me again. Then they hired me again, made me manager again, and then I got fired again.
Oh fuck, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was a great place. I think when I was running it, it was quite the vibe. Like we had like I think what were they shooting here? Not The Witcher, Black Black Sails. So the cast would come hang out there because we were like super chill, you know. So they would just come smoke blunts, and they'd know that they wouldn't be bothered. And who's that dude? He was also in Shameless. Me and him used to rap Wu-Tang together. So yeah, you know, it was like it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. I remember once someone had kind of left a line on the bar, and they had like a staff meeting, and they were like, "Okay, guys, fuck." Like just like on the bar, like you don't even go to the bathroom, you don't even whatever, and you just leave it here. And then the owner walks away, and then KV gets up and he's like, "Okay, which one of you is not finishing your cocaine?" So that was a bit of a wild part. But yeah, I think James, so they went off to start the pranks, and I just kind of just worked at Lefty's, and then just finished my journalism degree
Oh, sick.
because I wasn't making enough money as a musician, so I thought let me be poor as a writer instead. I know another way not to make money.
Yeah, no, I'm amazing at not making money, man. Like I've been really successful at that. Like
Wait! I'm not getting paid for this.
definitely not. You're getting paid
I'm just
in
kidding.
the number one currency in our industry. You're getting that exposure, baby.
Oh boy, no. I've played in bands. I've played four. I think I've got enough exposure to like salsa,
I don't
and
know.
it's not like a
Clearly, you don't have
retail.
enough exposure because if you did, you would be rich.
I don't think so, though.
That's how it works. The more exposure you get, the more money you get. First, you get the exposure, then you get the power, then you get the money.
I think I more exposed myself off the internet, so I think that's where my problem came in. I think you also had a thing with that.
Yeah, we
I'm sure you relate to
yeah we
this.
probably got a few similarities there, and like are really lucky that we existed when cell phone cameras weren't that good.
Y'all remember the photo dumps? Winston Friday. It's just like everyone's just like emo kids, their makeup all smudged and like just lying on the floor. It looked like it was quite Renaissance paintings.
Oh yeah, I've got like archives of photos, man.
Oh dear God. It sounds like a threat. There were tons of photos. Like, just send me your bank details, Bob. For fuck's sake.
I think everyone should be aware that I've got tons of photos, but also I know other people have photos too. So it's quid pro quo, Clarice.
Yeah, I mean, the Winston was wild. Remember, there was skollie Joels with the 10 rand
Yep.
quarts, and there was a topless drinking competition.
Yeah, I don't know if I was there for that. I think I might have been a burn on those Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's when we branched out into our little, what's it, the pub scraps.
Yeah, you guys kept the place going during like the quiet times, like basically when Burn moved, I know the Winston took quite a bit of a hit. And yeah, I think Skollie Joel really helped keep that place going.
Yeah, I think that's when we moved in, kind of like just swooped in. Oh, the goths are gone. I think the metalheads were kind of annoyed with us, which is fair. I mean, if I had a job, I'd also be annoyed with me. Back in the day, we used to have a joke with like James. So like you get to a gig because, like I said, as a band we were very poor, and then it's like, hey man, can I borrow your amp? And then it's like the dude's like, sure. It's like, hey, can I borrow your guitar strap? Can I borrow your cable? Actually, man, can I just borrow your guitar?
Yeah, that was definitely the Durban way.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think even one of our first songs was without a guy or a cent.
Yep.
Because it was just about being stranded and not having a ride and not having a cigarette but like whenever I write lyrics I always like to have like a positive uptick. It's like, oh, everything is fucked, but it's gonna be okay.
So did you write lyrics for the band as well?
Yeah. It was mostly me and Pierre.
Oh, cool.
But I wrote quite a few of them.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. The thespian lesbian. Cut that.
Why do you want
No, I'm kidding.
that cut?
I'm
It's who you are,
kid.
baby.
Oh, you have to attack me now. The thespian lesbian. Maybe that could be my new DJ. No, I had a new DJ name. I was thinking, DJ, where's my hug? Hey, ladies, where's my hug?
Yeah, that's too many people who used to hang outside a Burn like on a Wednesday night or on a Friday.
Now, I think I've done a lot of things, but I've never said, where's my hug? So there's that. I've got one redeeming quality.
The one and only thing that will get you into heaven.
And I don't litter. That's about it.
Hey, that
Open to other crimes.
that is
not littering.
one of the few virtues that for some reason people definitely seem to have lost. People do not give a fuck, but whatever. Not going to get into all of that.
Especially in Durban.
Yeah, fuck. It's tragic. Like, this place generally looks like a rubbish dump when it could look, like paradise. But there's a whole lot of fucking reasons for that.
I think that's also another thing. I think we were pre-state capture Durban, so things were like, it was, there was a bit more like positivity and like, like pre-COVID and stuff. And people aren't just like, I think I feel after 2020, people are just more indoors now, like naturally. I mean, even me, I don't really go out
Yeah, and we
much.
also are getting older, so you're not as like you don't find it as necessary, I guess.
Yeah, I can drink at home now, alone.
The way God intended.
Indeed. No, but yeah, the Winston was very formative. And I'm glad like to see like younger bands that have come out, like Mouse I really like.
Yeah.
And Black Math, yeah, always loved Black Math. And so yeah, it's cool to see that can maybe go on. But I saw something in a meme, which is where I get all my information, that said like, because no one can afford like a house anymore, that means that like there's no bands starting in garages. Because everyone's kind of living in apartments or with roommates. So it's like, it's kind of like destroyed a big part of the scene because people aren't just like going to a garage, hitting bongs and like, picking up some instruments.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's why everyone's a DJ now, because you can just do that in the comfort of your home with headphones on.
I've become the thing I hate.
Yeah, the die hero. Live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, DJ is my head.
DJ Blackout. So when did DJ Blackout start though? Because I know you were playing parties down in Cape Town and shit under various names. Or has it always been DJ Blackout?
Well, I used to be DJ Loopy the DJ. And then DJ Blackout. I think that also just came from that Winston skollie, like, we're drunk punks type thing. So like DJ Blackout. There was a terrible joke like blacking out at the cafeteria. And that's where it kind of really comes from.
Oh wow! Okay.
Oh wow!
Crocky, jeepers.
But that was like that edgy 2000s humor.
Which you were notorious for at the time. So you're so lucky. Like, yeah, there's not too much of you're on record from those days.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I'm in real life, but my exposure is all physical, the physical realm.
So yeah, then how was vibes in Cape Town? Tell me about life there. Like, what happened with after Lefties? What else did you land up doing? What brought you back to Durban?
I think after Lefties, I did some DJing for a bit, and then just lived life in Cape Town. Like it's coming from Durban at first. I think we were like, it was a bit of a culture shock, how you can just go out every night and it's like something happening and there's people there and it's cool, So you just, when you first move to Cape Town, you just end up partying for like 2 months straight because you're like, it's a Sunday. I wonder if I go out, I'll find people. And you do all the time. And so did that. And then I played in another band actually with, remember James Klopper from Captain
Yeah,
Stew?
of course.
And Steve. Yeah, we call him Lungu Death Machine. Yeah, so that, I ended up playing in that with a few people. Lungu Death Machine Association. MDMA. So we played a few shows as that, and then I just kind of like DJ'd, worked as a waiter until I finished my studies. I think like I started Steak from the Lake really helped me out because I started doing some articles there.
Yeah, I definitely need to chat to Steak. How was that? Because like he's such an amazing dude, and like, yeah, I need to get him on this podcast at some point.
Him. You should definitely get Steak on the podcast. Yeah, like no. Steak's amazing. Like since we met him at Unit 11, he was just always just been like the most like humble, rad person, and he actually just really believed in my writing. So he gave me assignments. Like I think it was the beach party had a reunion show, so I went and covered that for him, and I just go to shows and just party with the homies and take some photos and then write an article, and then that helped me have a bit of a portfolio.
Yeah, God, I miss those days though.
Yeah, it was really fun, I mean, the pay wasn't good.
No, but it covered your nights out and like it gave you experience. Like that was the cool thing was that like,
yeah.
For me, like a lot of it was just like, I want to see these bands. I want to be a part of the culture. I want to share things. I want to develop myself as a writer. Like cool. If I make $500 from this thing, like at most, that's costing me like 300. Hey, that's a profit.
Yeah, because also it's like I'd pay to go watch this, and also this way I mean, okay, I always get backstage.
Yeah, I know.
But it's fun to just go hang out with everyone, and just kind of there's just some certain unity about like the alternative music scene in South Africa.
Yeah.
It's like some really like kind of beautiful people. I mean, there's a lot of self-destruction and partying, but at the core of that, it's just like I've met some like real, like, just solid people who've just been my friends for years, maybe even leading on to decades now. So that helped me kind of get like some kind of portfolio. And then I landed a gig as head researcher at this SABC show.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it was called Forever Young. I had to find inspirational old people from all around the country, but mainly like out of the, not like Absa's 10 out of 10, like famous people, like weird, like lady in the Karoo who makes asta cook, and like I think I interviewed Urbi Oberheiser. Remember the photographer Urbi Oberheiser? Oof, mouth. There we go. Not so colonized now, am I? Yeah, then I just kind of like more pivoted towards writing, which I'm sure if you're kind of doing full time, really takes it out of you.
Yeah, people might not like know that, like, and I think people think like, hey, yeah, you're just sitting there writing, it's easy and shit, but it's not. You've also got to make time for jerking off. You've got to make like 10 cups of coffee a day. Like it's all the cigarettes. It's hard.
There's naps, bongs. Yeah.
Is Yeah, it's at least the 3 naps a day, of course. You got to squeeze in the 3 naps. So like, writing's hard. Writing's hard. I mean, I joke because like writing for clients, especially like you and I, like have picked up more corporate work as we go along, because it's the stuff that actually pays the bills.
Yeah.
And yeah, that kind of stuff can be a bit frustrating because there's not a lot of freedom in it. But what I've learned to do, my trick's always been just to write very sarcastically and then like edit afterwards. And like usually it comes out to like exactly what the client wants.
No, I'm like the worst kind of writer. I don't know, it's because maybe I started writing out like with more like poetry and lyrics. So like I like edit as I write.
Oh, same.
It just takes me the longest though, but when I'm done, I'm kind of done. But it's a longer process because you're not really looking at everything as a whole. But also I am a bit of a not a grammar Nazi, just a regular Nazi. Like I'm a bit of like a I'm very like pedantic about like my writing. Like I really will spend like half an hour going, it was, that happened, and then this, perhaps, eventually, like, and I just go over like the same thing until like I find the right word, and then it always ends up being the one I chose like 15 minutes ago. Fuck.
Yeah, that's pretty relatable. Like, I kind of hate being able to edit a document as you go along because I am someone who also writes like that. But I've also done some of the, I don't know, like, okay, controversy noted, but Neil Gaiman, like, once gave some advice about writing. We're talking about Neil Gaiman's writing. Everyone listening gave advice
Oh
about that.
yes,
We can
he's
still
cancelled.
listen
Hey.
to the advice about that. He said that he writes the first draft down on paper and stuff, and then edits
You could have like said Stephen King.
it.
There's so many writers.
But he was the one who inspired me to write.
Okay. No, I like what I got into the beats a lot. So like Jack
Oh,
Kerouac,
nice.
and I got a lot into Kurt Vonnegut, Tom Robbins, and then obviously as a pretentious gay, I have to read my philosophy, my Immanuel Kant, Hegel, Nietzsche as an edgelord, Marx, obviously, because I'm a commie bastard. And yeah, so it was just also a love for writing for reading that translated into writing, which is weird in today's space because if you have like a good vocabulary, people think you're using AI. But also you kind of writing for people to skim the work.
Yeah.
So people aren't really paying attention. So you kind of have to like dumb down, which is weird because which is like the opposite of everything you're like taught about writing, about like finding that different word or like that special way to say it. And then when you actually go out to like work for like, it's copywriting or SEO or whatever, you end up actually not doing that. It's like, just be basic,
Yeah, SEO writing's like kind of the bane of my existence, but I also find it kind of easy. So sometimes it is like, having a bit of
Five
a
sandals for your daughter's
exactly.
5 sandals for your daughter's holiday. Your little one deserves the best.
Well, you see, like, well, the cool thing is like I get some cool clients sometimes, so like I've written stuff about water filtration and fucking bank fraud and like all this stuff that like I've got to
Yeah.
do research on and like, hey man,
Yeah, I know a lot of topics because I worked for this AI. I mean, this like it's like a CMS agency. So we
sure.
kind of use, but we also took on clients, and I got really burnt out there because you had to kind of deliver 1,000 word articles a day with like all the meta descriptions, the
that.
images, and then edit all the widgets and such. And yeah, but like I've written for everything from like baby formula to insurance to like this medical device that like tracks your vitals, not your vitals. Like I even forget. Like you just go through so much, and all that information is just like in a pile, like not really organized.
And it's just so funny because it's all just like rehashed from like other people's shit. Like that's all like even before AI, that's what like the internet was becoming, was just like rehash of rehash of rehash. And that's like the job is like, okay, let me learn about this topic and redistill it, bake it back into like 5 points.
Yeah, because also if you try and do something different, like your editor will be like, no, no one wants to hear this. What the fuck?
Yeah, but I think the language stuff can come in with your own personal writing, though. I think that's where a lot of that matters. And like for me, like I get to do a lot of writing for comedy, but then also with that, like I can be naturalistic on stage and not always be so rigid with it and that. And then I also just write a lot of stuff for myself where I can play around, where it's like coming up with sentences, about different like various things that's pop into your head.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten into like maybe doing haikus because they're very quick.
Nice.
It's just like a brain exercise, But I just find myself, because like I have to deliver something between like 7,000 and 10,000 words a week. These scripts, so it's just like, yeah, it's like a week every like, or even a bit more. But yeah, so that does like make you want to like, I don't want to.
Yeah, because you're currently doing scripts for videos on YouTube, which like I've done some of, and I know that kind of stuff sucks.
And the language they want you to use,
very simplistic.
Well, not quite, Mordecai. This crazy guy, it's like so. Yeah, I guess it pays the bills.
Yeah, fuck. How far have we come? How far we have come?
There are worse ways to make money,
100%. Like we've done them before.
Yes, for free,
literally. But what I was gonna say was, let's quickly talk a little bit about your comedy career.
I wouldn't go that far.
You are responsible for one of the most like iconic lines, I think, in like at least Durban comedy history. Which was when I think the first time you're doing stand-up comedy, you came on stage with a bunch of cue cards and you started losing your place, and then eventually threw them away and started talking to the crowd. And at one point you said the infamous line, "How long is 5 minutes?"
Yeah, because I thought I'd written 5 minutes worth of material, and it's like, and I looked at the the guy with the timer, and he was like, "Go on," and it's like, what do you mean? It's been years.
Yeah, that first time can either be like really quick, like in your mind, or it could be like an hour. Like it depends.
And I feel like I was like deployed in Vietnam or something. Like helicopters. So yeah, so like I mean, for me, comedy is something that I don't know. I feel it's like the pinnacle of performance and writing, which is why I wanted to do it, because all my favorite comedians like Dylan Moran, like Eddie Izzard, George Carlin, Bill Hicks. All of those guys were like, I think first and foremost, just good writers.
Yeah.
Before they were like performers, because I mean, it takes a lot to like, just write, like have a bit, finish it off, but then kind of still go call back to it and like run a thread through everything while making it coherent. So I really do enjoy it, but it was just like it's just always easier for me to just like lean more into music or either just full on writing,
No, I get that, because like the difference with like stand-up comedy to something like music is you don't have the instrument to hide behind. Like, it's an infamous thing that everyone says,
Yeah, yeah.
It's that stand-up comedy, it's you laid bare. And I think that's the thing you probably experienced like that night, was just like, oh fuck, this didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. What do I do now?
Yeah, and then it just like, and then it just worked out, by just putting the guards down and just being real. Yeah, but I think also the other thing about it is that you're actually trying to elicit a certain emotion,
Yeah.
Like people are there to laugh. Like with music, people are like, it's like they're not there. It's like, hey, if this band's not funny, I'm leaving,
I mean, I have left during many a band set, but sure.
There's certain things like, because I'm sure because you have like lots of friends playing,
Mhm.
and then some people just like look at you while you're in the audience. You're like, dude, I want to go outside. There's like 5 of you in the venue. It's like, fuck. It's like, Loopy will know this one. It's like, god damn it, man. I want to go outside.
Because they saw you wanting to go have a smoke, and they were like, fuck, we can't lose the audience now.
Yeah. So that's always like something.
But yeah, you ever think about getting back on stage as a comedian?
I do. I really do. Because like I said, it's something that's like, it's one of those careers where it's actually, if you're like more like decrepit and old you are, the like better it works out for you.
100%. So that's my strategy. Like, I've just been like, it's cool, I'll make it when I'm 40. Like, that's intentional, people.
Yeah,
It's not because I suck. Like,
I've been planning this for years. Not because my wife left. Yeah. But with the scripts I'm doing now, I do get to use a lot of comedy writing, because we have to show like kind of, let's say we're doing a Simpsons episode, you show a clip and then you kind of say a bit about it,
Yeah.
So not where I'd go with that, Herba, or like save some terrorism for the rest of us there, bud. So that's like been fun, like getting back into that again,
Yeah, because I guess you got to be quippy with that.
Yeah. But like something about doing it for money, that you always have to follow someone else's style guide, which just also means it burns you out just having a consistent output, and
Yeah, it gets fucking boring. Like, I fully get you. That's what like is fun about like stand-up comedy is, yeah, you sit down to write for an hour, and hey man, maybe you get nothing or whatever, and maybe you get like 3 pages of something, or maybe you get like 1 line or whatever, but it's still like, it's always like a freeing experience in some cases. Like, and I said always, but like I guess when I was younger and writing stuff, it was way more scary. But now it's like, I know, like, I don't have to say this out loud. Like, I can just think about things for a while. Like, it's fine.
Yes. I need to learn that. What do you mean you don't have to say everything out loud? Wait. When did this happen?
No, I think that's probably like the biggest thing I've ever learned in life. Like, at this point, is like, maybe don't say that. Maybe don't write it. Maybe don't let other people know that is your thought or opinion, and just keep it moving, baby.
Maybe move to a quiet village in Iceland. Don't talk to anyone. Change your name.
Sounds like a plan.
Dye your hair black.
Oh God, no! God, no! I'll look like that dude in Charlie's Angels, like the hair sniffing dude.
Dude, do it. I'm in. Yeah. But like, no, I do enjoy comedy, and like, it's something that I always respect when I see someone go out there, because I don't know, I'm generally a person who likes making jokes.
I can tell.
But like, it's the same with my mom. Like, she's very funny. So like, we're always just laughing, So that's always nice to just exercise. But like, there's also the discipline side of it, which is just what I feel yeah, it's just balancing that discipline with that free form, But what's good about it is that you get like a feedback, like live, you get the audience, they give you the energy back,
Yeah.
which is what makes like just you at your computer different, So you don't like the only person you talk to is your editor who's like, change this. We need this editing tomorrow. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
quite lucky, like with because I work for Letterhead, and the team there, is really easy to work with. But sometimes when we like do work with other clients and that, like the way they work versus the way we work is a bit different, and the language and stuff, how like they give notes is not as kind, I would say, and that I'm just like, hey, I don't think I want to work for this client again. I'm cool. Like I'm just gonna stay like working with like chill people, because yeah, it's not that fucking serious. It's literally just writing stuff for like no one to ever read, really, because it's just
Yeah.
for the bots.
No
So
one's gonna read this. Yeah, dude, like, oh, the dead internet theory.
100%, yeah.
It's like, of course, you're a podcaster, of course you know. So I watch this like video where it's like actually getting a bit crazier, where like bots are commenting with AI generated on other bots accounts,
Yep,
and like,
that's most of
so,
Twitter these days,
oh yeah, I've never actually got into Twitter.
which is surprising because like that is like, I think a space where you could have like shone.
I know, right? But I just choose to like cyber bully racists on Facebook instead.
I mean, that is a good use of your time, I guess.
What do you think about that killer dude? The hot, sexy, hot twink.
I've been sharing, like, I've got my phone right now. Like, I'm on an FBI list basically. I've got all the memes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I've 100% got all
Yeah,
the
me
fucking
too.
memes. Like,
I couldn't get enough of them.
no, like I've been doing some comedy bits, internet and AI and FBI. I've been telling jokes about the fact that I think like, yeah, we should be like, this was long before this happened anyway, and I'm sure that guy never heard my jokes. FBI, guarantee you hasn't.
Bob did this. You hearing that? Anyone listening? It was Bob.
But
See?
I have advocated for the neutralization of certain people in a certain wealth class
Oh,
through
me too. I
various
said like
different means.
I'm with the orcas on this. Definitely on the orca side, sinking them boats. And also, the murderous hottie. I mean, I don't like dudes, but I would,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's in all honesty, I think it's a sign of the times. I mean, that's the reality, and especially in a dystopian place like America at the moment. I mean, I guess we're all living through different versions
Yeah.
of dystopia, but like there in particular, it seems fucking like really fucked up the way the corporations and that really have won, and how the people are so fucked. So I kind of get people taking actions like this.
Like, especially as the richest nation in the world, they should be kind of getting the same quality of life as people in like Finland and Iceland and, like that, because they are the richest. But it's actually just being siphoned up to the top. I think their problem is that they stopped affecting just the poor and the minorities and the working class. Now it's like just like white people who went to college. And they're crazy. They'll shoot you.
Yeah, they've been
They're not gonna be like,
radicalized by Joe Rogan. So
yeah, they're not going to be like singing the blues. We were way nice. I'm happy about how South Africa is it's just regular South African shit, I mean, it's not the best, but we're okay. We're okay.
yeah, like I sometimes
Considering.
like wonder about the whole thing of like South Africa being the most unequal country in the world, and if that's still true, and what the metrics for that are, because all the billionaires in America and then all the poor fucking people in America, there's literally like 10 cities and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know, are we still in first place? Because surely America's overtaken us by now.
Well, that's because wealth didn't change hands when apartheid ended, but that's a story for another day.
I'm very well aware of that, but I'm just saying, like, same in America, and now it's being extracted from their
Yeah.
supposed middle class.
to like bomb Palestinians. It's like sometimes you just look at everything and it's like, like the hook tour crypto scam, this like, like this new
It's
shootings
been a week, eh?
and like it's like what?
Like,
So crazy.
I was actually telling my girlfriend, like, it's just kind of crazy the amount of news we get in 1 week. Like, our grandparents didn't even get in a year.
No, dude. Like so much has happened. I think I'm gonna need that. The calendar with the memes of each month.
Oh yes, it's coming.
someone get on that, please. FBI guy. You know them. Yeah. But I think something's got to give eventually. I think it's just now it's just like normal people are kind of seeing it because everyone's into socialism. They just don't know what socialism is because there's been like huge propaganda for capitalism by capitalists. Since the Red Scare, like people be like, "That's commie." And it's like, is it?
Yeah, like with the what is socialism? What's going on? It's like, yeah, like people always say the whole thing of like, what is heaven to a Christian? It's socialism. like you just read the Bible and it's like, that's socialism, people.
And the Lord did roll the blunt, and it was fine.
It is just fucking crazy, like, to be living in these times. But hey, at least we get to have a good time this weekend, as long as we make it to Saturday. Like, you never know. You never know, given the news cycle at the moment.
This hand-in I have to do, like, I don't know, like, how someone can make watching Rick and Morty so unfun. It's like they just took the joy out of me. I have to watch like Rick and Morty episodes, but it's just lost the joy,
Yeah, I'm sorry about your job where you get to watch Rick and Morty episodes and write jokes about it.
Okay, listen, I don't want any shooters coming after me.
Okay, I'm gonna end this off with a question I ask everyone on the podcast, and that is, this one might take you some time to figure out because the list I know is very long. What is a big mistake that you've learned an important lesson from?
Jeez. Are we only ending the hour now? How long is an hour? What is the lesson? Well, there's quite a few, I guess. I guess it's just to be kinder, to be a lot kinder. Because I feel like as someone who's like ADHD, it's very easy to just like have a knee-jerk reaction without really considering the other people and their feelings. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to just kind of like reel that more in, and just be a bit kinder. Except when I'm cyberbullying on Facebook. That's different.
Yeah, I kind of relate to that, to be honest, because I don't know, I'm even nicer on the internet than I've ever been. Like, I swear at people less. And, like, in person, I try to just be a bit more empathetic and a bit more like, oh, yeah, I'm not, the star of the show here. This is an ensemble cast. Like, there's other people.
No one cares that you read Kafka. Shut up.
I was going to say, I do think, like, our bookshelves are probably pretty similar.
Yeah. Pretty much. Bob Dylan Chronicles.
Not quite that. That's not like, but the Vonnegut's, the Tom Robbins, the
hippie brew bras.
Yeah, you ever read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance? You seem like the type who would have.
Not yet. I think Sahara lent me that, and I didn't really quite finish it. I don't know why I didn't finish it, but I've been offered that because it's one of those books, like if you like those kind of books, you like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna read it, but I think the internet's really made me like not mentally, not cognitively at my best. I don't be reading no more. Unless it's like they should make books with just Subway Surfer. Like half the page is like text, and then the other half is just like Subway Surfer. Someone playing Minecraft. Maybe then I could get it.
Oh, they should put that in the Kindle. Like they should.
Yeah.
You need to patent that right now.
It's that FBI guy is like, I'm rich. Fuck these guys.
Cool, man. Well, this has been fun. I knew it would, and yeah, I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to partying with you this weekend and
me
hearing your
too.
dope jams. What can the people expect from your set?
The Law and Order theme. I love that. The bass is so good.
Dung dung.
Dun,
So
dun,
you're playing
dun.
on a piano.
No, not quite. Been colonized, Bob. Okay, it's a big problem for me. No, I'm playing like old like dancey indie, you know, like the drums,
Yeah,
metronomy, and then some fun like Talking Heads,
cool.
ESG, Tom Tom Club, just vibes, you know.
Nice. Yeah, sounds like a good time. Well, cool. I'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks. I had a good time.
Yeah, thank you too, bro. This has been great.